The war for control over the internet didn't start in a courtroom or on a battlefield. It began in a teenager's bedroom. And it all started with a boy who rewrote his own life before trying to rewrite the internet. His name today is Kim Dotcom, but back then, in the early 90s, he was just Kim Schmitz, an awkward kid living in a small German city called Kiel. He would later claim he graduated early from an elite boarding school in a castle, that he was a prodigy with a special diploma for gifted students. None of it was true. In reality, he attended a public school and spent part of his youth in a home for troubled kids. But the truth has never been the foundation of Kim's story. It was always about perception, illusion, the image you could create with a keyboard and a camera. At home, behind a locked bedroom door, Kim found his escape in early computers. And more than that, he found power. He didn't just use software. He started writing it, sharing it, cracking it. By his late teens, he was running a server that distributed pirated programs to other hackers across Europe. But he wasn't just trading files, he was also listening, tapping into the hacker scene, eavesdropping, gathering clout. He called himself Kimball, after the main character in The Fugitive, a wrongly accused man on the run from the law. By 1992, German TV aired a segment on him. In grainy footage, a teenage Kim shows off how to make free calls by tricking phone networks. He says he coded it himself. The media dubs him the nightmare of telecoms. Forbes calls him the leader of a global hacker crew. He claims to have built an encrypted phone, one that couldn't be tapped, and sold hundreds. The line between myth and reality gets blurry fast. And that's how Kim likes it. He's arrested for his software trading operation in the late 90s, convicted, given a suspended sentence. But instead of hiding from the spotlight, Kim leans into the myth. He becomes the hacker who couldn't be stopped, the bad boy turned cybersecurity consultant. He launches a company called Data Protect. The pitch is simple. Who better to guard your digital fortress than the guy who used to break into them? It works. He makes real money, sells a majority stake, rides the dot-com boom with swagger and arrogance. Some of his ideas were brilliant, like a form of two-factor authentication before the term existed. Others were absurd, like a car with 16 SIM cards and a built-in webcam. But whether it was tech or spectacle, Kim knew one thing. If you wanted to stand out, you had to look the part. Online, he showed off the cars, the girls, the beachfront mansions. He posted videos of his cows, his private jets, his sky. During the height of dot-com mania, he promised to rescue a failing e-commerce company called letsbuyit.com. He went on national TV to sell the idea. In truth, he bought cheap shares, hyped them, and dumped them. Classic pump and dump. Classic insider trading. He tried to run, got caught. Another suspended sentence. Another fine. Another chapter in the myth. By the early 2000s, after most of his ventures had collapsed and the dot-com bubble burst, Kim moved to Hong Kong. A new start, a new country, the same games. Then came 2005, and with it, the birth of Mega Upload. At its core, Mega Upload was just a file-sharing site, but it was simple, fast, and intuitive. You could upload anything, share it with anyone. No login, no friction. And suddenly, millions of people were doing just that. Movies, music, games, entire collections of pirated content flowed through the platform. It wasn't the first site of its kind, but it was the most effective. By 2011, Mega Upload was the 13th most visited website on the planet. 50 million users a day. 4% of all global internet traffic. It was massive. And Hollywood noticed. This was still the era before streaming took off. If you wanted Spider-Man 2, you paid $20 for a DVD. Want the new Green Day album? That's another $16. Unless you just downloaded it from Mega Upload. To the music and film industries, Kim Dotcom became public enemy #1. And for a while, no one knew he was behind the site. Mega Upload was officially registered to a holding company in Hong Kong. The name on the paperwork? Kim Tim Jim Vestor, a Finnish businessman. In reality, it was Kim again. Same person, different passport. For years, this smokescreen worked. He kept his name off the radar until 2011. That year, Kim stepped into the spotlight once more. He released a bizarre music video featuring pop stars praising Mega Upload. It was part flex, part threat. And this time, he wasn't Kim Schmitz or Kimball. He was Kim Dotcom, living in a palatial mansion in New Zealand, playing Call of Duty competitively, racing cars, starting a family. And in that moment, he believed he was untouchable. He was wrong. January 20th, 2012, New Zealand police, at the request of the FBI, raided Kim Dotcom's mansion. Special forces stormed the compound. They seized hard drives, designer watches, and millions in luxury cars. It was part of a global operation. Simultaneous raids were launched in 8 countries. The U.S. government had declared war on Mega Upload. Prosecutors said the site was not just a file-sharing tool, it was a criminal enterprise, a platform built from the ground up to traffic stolen digital content. According to U.S. officials, Kim and his team made $175 million while causing over $500 million in damages. The charges? Racketeering, copyright infringement, money laundering. Maximum sentence? 55 years. But Kim Dotcom tells a different story. He says Mega Upload was no different than Google Drive or Dropbox, a neutral platform. What people uploaded was not his responsibility. He says his team responded to takedown notices, that they even gave content owners direct access to remove pirated material themselves. But leaked internal emails told a different story. Journalists uncovered evidence suggesting that Mega Upload paid users to upload popular copyrighted content, that takedown requests were delayed or ignored, that behind the scenes, the platform was optimized for piracy. And prosecutors had another theory, that Kim Dotcom wasn't just running a rogue website, he was a symbol, a challenge to the established order. In a world where digital content was slipping out of the hands of studios and labels, Mega Upload had become the Wild West. Kim was the outlaw, and Hollywood wanted him gone. It helped that the Motion Picture Association's top lobbyist was a close friend of then Vice President Joe Biden. That same year, the U.S. was pushing hard for anti-piracy laws like SOPA and PIPA. Mega Upload wasn't just a nuisance, it was a threat to their control over the internet. And Kim Dotcom, with his jets, his parties, and his ego, made the perfect villain. But the more they tried to shut him down, the more he leaned into the persona. In exile, Kim reinvented himself yet again. He launched a political party in New Zealand, funded documentaries, joined live streams, gave interviews, released a new platform, simply called Mega. He tweeted, he streamed, he threatened to release evidence of a global conspiracy. But his legal fight continued. Appeal after appeal, courtroom after courtroom. For over a decade, Kim Dotcom delayed extradition to the United States. Until August 2024. New Zealand's Justice Minister signed the order. He would be extradited. Just months later, in November, Kim suffered a stroke. His online presence went quiet. One post on X, a brief note asking for patience, and then silence. So, who was he, really? An innovator who saw the future before the rest of us? A digital pirate who profited off stolen content? A political target? A performance artist? A fraud? The truth is probably all of it. He was brilliant, insecure, delusional, and ahead of his time.
He built systems that reshaped how we share. But he also bent rules, fabricated stories, sold illusions. In the end, Kim Dotcom didn't just mirror the internet era, he embodied it. A place where reality blurs with performance, where attention is currency, where anyone from anywhere can challenge the most powerful industries in the world, and maybe, just maybe, get away with it. At least until they're caught.